Hello and welcome to this casted game with deck reviews played between TschoschKotD, who I'm just going to be calling Tschosch from now on, and Fire3114, who I'm just going to be calling Fire from now on. Tschosch is playing as second UK, Fire's playing as K.d.A, and we're on Black Forest Duel. So first we'll go through the deck reviews, then we'll cover the deployments, then we'll cover the game. Timestamps are in the description, as well as the deck codes. Right, so this is Tschosch's game, Tschosch's deck for the game. I'm just going to edit that part out. Right, so this is Tschosch's deck for the game. It was a 1v1 game. This feels like a team deck, and we'll get into why. But basically, there's a lot of artillery. So with second UK, I find you don't really need a fob. If you get two Bedfords, and then obviously you don't bring this because it's too expensive. And then the Chinook, then you've got plenty of supply. Certainly, if you bring in the fob, you probably don't need two cards of Bedfords because the fob is it doesn't actually say it on the card, but it's 16,000 supply. This is 6,000. This is 5,000, right? So basically, one of these is more than two cards. So you really just need this and a way to get that to the front line. So for 1v1, at least this and some trucks is fine. For team games, you might want the helicopters simply because of the distances involved. Inf tab, so he's bringing all the SAS in the Saxons. Yeah, you basically need to do that. I mean, they're really expensive now, but they are still very useful for sending round the back and annoying people, blowing up transports, and then when the enemy sends the helicopter, they shoot the helicopter. They are very expensive, though. Rifles leader, so this is 6 men for 85 points. You could get 6 men for 70 points, but no AT. AT can be useful. And you can get 8 men for 75 points. Or, yeah, 8 men for 80 points. 6 men for 80. So, what's the advantage of this guy? Like, so you're bringing him in a warrior, so he's going to be slow. And he's got, you know, for 5 points less, you could get basically the same thing with worse small arm ability, but you guys shouldn't be shooting anyway. I mean, it's worth having an AT in case somebody drives a vehicle into it, but outside of that, you don't need machine guns and stuff. It's mainly just strength. So I would swap that out for Terrier's leader. Terrier's spam is fair enough, really. It's them or the arm rifles, basically. So if you find you're spamming warriors, bring the arm rifles. I've recently been taught that low vet arm rifles aren't very good, so you should try and bring these at 1 vet if you can, and 2 cards. But if you've just got 1 card, then yeah, I guess you need lots of warriors. Terrier Pioneers, yeah, you sort of need them if you want satchels in towns and stuff. Rover Milan 2, yeah, there's no real point up vetting it, so it makes sense bringing it in the car. You can bring it in this thing if you want to pay 5 points more for a Hell Arm compared to this Hell Arm, which also gets a free rank of veterancy, unlike these. So it's silly that this is 55. Spoke about those. Air mobiles in the rocket links, yeah, good. And then air mobile gun groups in regular links and air mobile pioneers in rocket links. So the one problem you're going to have is that people are going to send you Steam messages and Discord messages while you're recording. And, oh, interesting. Well, I can't say what that's about. Yeah, interesting. So that's, yeah, there's no... Your only good AT in ground transports are the SAS. It's just a personal preference thing. I mean, you've got plenty of AT in ground transports, like the Terriers have AT, so I guess it's not really a problem. And yeah, there's a lot of guys in helicopters. I don't know, do you really need these guys in Lynxes? Artillery, so if this is a 1v1, first of all, these things are rubbish. It's like the worst arty piece in the game. I don't really complain about it enough, but basically to fill you in, it's got the, what was it called? M107 or something. Yeah. So it's got the fire rate of the Malka, but it's got 1 less HE than the Malka, right? So it's got, yeah, because you look at the rate of fire. So, and if you compare it to the Paladins, what's it, M109s, you know, the Paladins fire much faster and are 2 per card and are 30 points cheaper and carry 3 times the ammunition and only suffer a small loss in HE. So basically, I don't rate, in their current form, I don't rate these at all. It's probably just better to bring 2 of these, and then there you go, you're saving yourself a card. And 2 of these for 1v1 is also, like, so if you're buying all this arty, that's, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes of income, because these are over 260. So it's 5 minutes of income just for this, and like, you know, 6 minutes if you include the fob, I guess, or 5.5 if you include the fob. The game's only 40 minutes, so you've spent 5 minutes buying artillery, and if your opponent just brings units, so like your standard infantry squad on is, you know, it's like 45 points, let's say. So if your opponent just brought infantry, he's gonna have you know, like 20 infantry more than you. And these are not going to kill 20 infantry. So, I mean, I think the MRS is good. I would just bring 1, and I would just bring these, because these are the Paladins, but in towed gun form. And they're like half the price. Obviously, you got to keep the transport with them and move them around. But yeah, they're like half the price. And you save 3 points there, which lets you get extra planes, lets you get extra Rover Milans, which we'll get to. But yeah, let's just put that like that so we can keep track. Tank tab, no Rover Milans, as was foretold. So these are really useful because they've got good stealth. They're very useful. They're relatively cheap for what they accomplish. Like if they kill 2 transports, they're great. The only problem is that they have got 6 in storage and 1 in the tube, so you would assume they would have 7 ammo, but because it's UK, they only get 4 ammo. And then challenges, you really want to bring the challenges at 1 vet, because as soon as they get hit, they become useless at no vet. And at least at 1 vet, they can survive a hit. So I would up-vet those and bring the Rover Milans. And yeah, the challenger CVs, fair enough. So we've got 5 CVs, 7 CVs, that's good. Recon, so yeah, recon helicopter. Less useful than it used to be because autocannons kill them so fast, but still very useful. 2 cards of Fox, presumably for some backline action. And then 2 cards of Air Mobile Scouts. So, Air Mobile Scouts are really good, but you'll note that they're basically the same as the Air Mobile Gun Group, except better, because they bring 1 more machine gun, and they're also recon for the same price. So you might want to get rid of the Air Mobile Gun Group if you've got these, and then I wouldn't bring them both in helicopters, because all your infantry recon's arriving in helicopters, so if you need some stealthy infantry recon to move to the front without your enemy shooting it down, and without it costing you an arm and a leg, you know, I'd have 1 in Saxons, basically, and then I would get rid of this and replace it with, I don't know, a 2nd card of arm rifles, then you can up-vet these, something like that. And yeah, I would get rid of all that RT, get less RT, so you can get the Rover Milan. But yeah, that was like that. AA, yeah, it's fair enough. So the FSB one is not the best thing ever, but you sort of need it because it's got slightly better range. I mean, basically the regular FSA is just trash, so you might as well get the FSB one. And then, yeah, standard javelins are good because the LMLs are trash now. Absolutely unusable unit, just nerfed into the dustbin. Yeah, bro, we'll just make it like a vehicle. Okay, keep the price the same. And then, yeah, this is fair enough. So you've not got the links. The Gazelle rockets, I actually really do like them. But if you got plenty of rockets going around, and if you actually keep these safe, then you can use them to deal with breakthroughs and stuff. So yeah, you've got the Lynx Hellarm and then the FI tow, which is too expensive for what it is, really. But yeah, it can be useful. And then air, I understand bringing 2 cards of Phantoms. Another one to consider if you're getting messed up by enemy helicopters, which I guess you shouldn't be if you've got the SAS, is the Harrier AA, because that can kill a helicopter in 1 pass, basically. Or I guess you could use this in a pinch to kill the helicopter, Or you could send 2 of these to kill the helicopter. Maybe it'll work. And then, yeah, the Jaguar HE2. The Jaguar cluster is really, really good. It's probably your best plane. And you've got a HE plane, so I would probably bring the Jaguar cluster instead of the Jaguar HE. But if you are saving some points somewhere... Oh yeah, because you'd remove one of these, right? So that would give you 3 extra points, and then you could bring the Jaguar cluster as well, or the Harrier GR3 as well. So that's the deck review for Tschosch. So this is Fire's deck review. He's playing K.d.A. Interesting. So let's go into it tab by tab. I do agree with the fob for K.d.A. because you want to be spamming out your arty. Once again, you might want to drop the T813s and just have the munitions because you've got the fob, and it's rough having just tracked supply because it takes longer and you got to buy more of them. But yeah, I think that would save you 2 AP, which you can put somewhere else. Inf tab, so it's 5 CVs, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so lots of CVs. In terms of utility, so the Reservist and Führer is 8 with Estrella for 80 points, and 3 availability is crucial, whereas this is 2 availability and only 4 HP. So I think you're bringing the wrong CV there. I'd bring this one. Then you've got the K.d.A. Führer, 6 availability. 6 strength, 3 availability. At the very least, one of these should be swapped out for the Reservist and Führer, and my money is on the Mosschutz and Führer. Pioneer Flam, yeah, you need them. I can understand upvetting them if you can keep them safe. Regular Pioneers, yeah, can be good. And, yeah, okay. Conkers, yeah, fair enough. And then, so you've brought 3 cards of K.d.A. Schutzen. Now, you know, who knows what will happen in future patches. But basically, Reservisten and Zickerungs are better than K.d.A. Schutzen. Because, so, Reservisten especially, right, they get, they don't have the Dishearten trait, whereas these guys have the Dishearten trait, which makes them route easier. I mean, 14 strength means that it takes a lot to kill them. But they're 5 points more, and the Reservisten get the same availability, and they get 1 extra MG, so they shoot more, and they're not disheartened, even though they're reservists, so they're like way better. So I would like have 2 cards of Reservist and 1 card of K.d.A. Schutzen, if this is how you're gonna build it. Also, like, so the Mosschutz, so Mosschutz versus Reservist, and oh, okay, so you've upvetted it and they've got Resolute, so yeah, this is your trained infantry, so that's fair enough. And then, yeah, it's always good to bring a card of Zickerungs because they've got the BTR 60 PBs. Let me just remind myself how I build my K.d.A. Get rid of that one. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm bringing the fob, and I'm bringing this even though I said I wouldn't. And then I literally bring 3 cards of Reservisten and 1 card of K.d.A. Schutzen. And I bring the Zargo Tryhards, which, if you can micro them, are good. If you can't, they're not worth it. I tend to micro them badly, but it's great for the suppression resistance on the removal. They finally removed the Dishearten trait, so they're good. Where are we? Artillery. So you're missing a trick here because your best artillery is the BM21 Napalm. I've been told the Smirch is good. I haven't actually used it that much. So I would be bringing the BM21 Napalm. I wouldn't bother with the Malker. I think it's a waste of time. I mean, yeah, wouldn't it be better? Because you've got a fob, right? You could bring, instead of this, you bring these. And instead of 2 of these, you bring this, because this is really, really good. Obviously, the reload time's a lot higher, but it is really, really good. And so that's how I would build it. But let's put it back how it was, so I can keep track. And I agree with bringing the mortars for smoke and stuff. And yeah, it's always a trade-off. If you bring it with the car, it's slower. I mean, if you bring it with the car, it's faster, but it dies easier. If you bring it with the MTLB, it's slower, but it's more survivable. If you're paying attention, it's basically immune to counter battery if you put it back in the MTLB. But yeah, I can understand if you want to do smoke at the start, it's better with the car. So hopefully we'll see some smoke at the start. Tank tab's an interesting one. So you've not brought your best asset, which is this thing. Really, really good on the defense because of the good stealth and the 2,800 meter range ATGM. It's resolute as well. High availability. I'd bring in the MTLB so that it can be loaded up when the RT comes for it. But if you want it there fast, then you can bring it in the car. This thing is, yeah, so basically the Malyutka P was nerfed. It used to be 20 points and 16 AP, and then they made it 40 points and 17 AP. So it can one-shot a 3-armor vehicle, but it's basically pointless. You might as well bring the Conkers for just a bit more, so I understand that. But yeah, this does have mediocre stealth, whereas the Homosexual has good stealth. And it can still one-shot a 3-armor vehicle because the Faggots have been upgraded to 17 AP as well. That was a while ago. And then you want the T62 with... Okay, so I guess instead of bringing this, you've just brought loads of T62s with the same missile but bad stealth. So we'll see how that goes. It might work better if you're expecting lots of enemy RT. And from what I understand, this was an in-house game, and the enemy is bringing a lot of RT, so can understand it. And then, yeah, so I agree with bringing these. It's a shame there's only one card. And yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of tanks. Like I would probably get rid of one of these and then bring more planes, because you've actually missed a big trick on the planes there. But we'll get to that. Recon. You need. So this is like one of the best cards in the game, honestly, right now. 30 points, 6 availability, very good optics, very fast. This can shoot at armor as well, amphibious, resolute, etc. So you should be bringing this. I can understand the PT-76 sort of substituting for that. I get that. You need more infantry recon, I think. I think you're going to have trouble with recon in this game, and there's no ground-based wheelie or infantry wheelie recon, right? So you might want these. And if you get rid of this tank, maybe you can bring it. If you get rid of this, maybe you can bring it. AA. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. I like Bucks and then Osas, because the Osa is decent if you know, for the openers and stuff, because it's wheeled. But I can understand 4 Bucks. And this thing I used to think was rubbish, but yeah, if you put it defensively somewhere and a helicopter flies over it, basically just kills it 100% of the time. It's basically useless against planes because of that massive aim time and the low accuracy, the low range. And then, yeah, some manpads. But yeah, you're going to struggle against helicopters. I mean, the idea with the OSA as well is that it's got that... I mean, obviously this has good anti-helo range, but you don't want to be... you don't want your Bucks on the front line. Although, why not? I mean... Well, just because of the low availability and the high price. Helicopters, the Gov thing's rubbish because the range of the Gov itself is 1400, and the range of... every single autocannon in the game against helicopters is 1600. So you get into range and then you die because the autocannon wins, because helicopters are really weak against autocannons right now. So I don't rate the Gov. I think the Rocket 2 is better. You get more rockets. And the rockets have a range of 2100, which means you can shoot from out of range. And then, yeah, these are fair enough. I understand that. Air, there's a big problem here with the air. So... your main advantage is K.d.A, and it has been nerfed a bit. So this thing is really good, I agree with that. The cluster's good. This thing, not good, because it drops at high altitude, and then the enemy just moves, and then it does this wacky turning circle and it dies, and it's got very reasonably high cost. So if you can somehow squeeze in... I'll show you my K.d.A deck again. So this is how I run it, right? These cheapo bombers, they're not so cheapo anymore. You get 6 of them, and you get seed, and you get the cluster, and the AT, and the plane, right? So this is how I build it, and I just go for total air bully, basically. So, you know, give it a try. Let me know if it works for you. So it's like 1 less helicopter that I'd give you an extra AP because you're at 49. And, yeah, so I've got... the advantage with these guys is they've got more HP. So live a bit longer. And yes, this is how I'm building it. So just copy me, bro. I mean, I'm trying to explain why you should copy me. Basically, if you can get the seed and the cluster and the bomber, then the seed spots or shoots the enemy, it suppresses it, right? But as soon as it shoots, you drop the cluster on it. if the seed hasn't killed it already. And these things are really good. If you can get 6 of them going, it's crazy because the reload times, obviously LGBTs reload in 60 seconds flat, which is stupid, but the reload time on this is 4 minutes, whereas the reload time on this is 2 minutes. And yeah, so if you can keep these alive using the seed and the cluster to keep these alive. I do have a few games where I play K.d.A against people, and they're worth checking out for that strat. So that is how I would do it, but I believe we've reached the last tab. So yeah, to summarize, I would get rid of this, then you've got 3 AP, and get rid of, sort this out. So it's like that. What were we doing? We were getting rid of that. And then get rid of one of these, or even 2 of these. Make this come in a ground transport, swap it out for this. It's a lot of cards of AA. Like, do you need this? Maybe. And then, yeah, swap this out for that. And then you've got points here for these, and then you get the seed. That is how I would do it, but it's up to you. There is more than one way to play this division, and I will see you in the game. Right, so, casting the deployments. I've been told that this was an in-house game, and in in-house games, in-house metas tend to develop. Both teams bring in loads of artillery, and FOBs tends to be a typical in-house meta. Certainly it was with me and my friends in Red Dragon. But going through Tschosch's deployment here, we got 1 SAS going to here. And then a Fox going to there, okay. And Mobile Scouts going to over here near Alpha, with Gazelle Recon just going to here. And then very cool attack consisting of, okay, so there's a Milan 2 going there. I mean, I think the house is better, but there works too. And going there. It's not forward deployed, although against K.d.A, you know that they don't really have any forward deployment, and not really much in the way of helo-born stuff, although I know Fire's bringing some helo-born stuff, you'll know that from the deck review. So maybe this guy will make it, maybe he won't. And then 3 air mobiles attacking Alpha. So that's aggressive, we'll see if it happens. And yeah, air mobile Pioneers going to Charlie, 1 SAS going to Charlie, going quite defensively. I would put him here, because you've got the forward deployment, right? And now Mobile Scout's going to here. So, switching to... So, it's like there's not a lot of units, because everything's so expensive, and he's open fob, but maybe we'll see an aeroplane, I don't know. On the other side, for Fire, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 recon helicopters, which is not a good idea, because these only have 4 HP now. It used to be 6, but now it's 4. And, just taking a sip of my tea there. I'll edit that part out. It feels like I haven't put sugar in it. I thought I did. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pause it here and go put the sugar in. I'll just do a cut here. You know, I wouldn't describe myself as a health nut, but I do like to put honey in my tea. But yeah, I do not understand why, following that completely seamless transition there, why you would open 4 recon helis, because the SAS can kill them in 1 hit, right? 5 damage, 71% accuracy, and yeah, these only have 4 HP. As you play the game more, you will sort of know what he's gonna do anyway, so you won't need all these. But yeah, if you've not played the game a lot, which we don't know yet, we won't know till the end, then you won't know what he's going to do. But on Black Forest, you can always expect him to have guys here, and then he's basically going to get Charlie for free, and then he might rush to the town because he's got forward deployed stuff and you don't. So yeah, CV on the right here for fire, going to Echo, and then I would auto path it to Foxtrot, just like tell it to go there in Echo, so it goes off the road and then go to Foxtrot. And Zickerung's just going to here in case somebody attacks here, fair enough. Fob, as discussed. And then some interesting pathing routes there. It's not always up to you. So we got a supply going to here. 2 Strellas, one going to here, one going to here. Typically you want the Strela in the church because it can see further, because religious people can see further than atheists. As you can see, atheists can only see that far, but religious people in the church can see much further. And then Pioneer going to the town. Okay, so he's expecting to be attacked in the town, so he's playing quite defensively in the town, and he really wants to go in on Charlie with 5 K.d.A shots in. So that's cool. And then a Conquer's there, that's just not a good idea. I mean, like, what's the point? The range isn't sufficient, really. You want a regular unit there, I think. And a Conquer's here, and once again, it's like, no, hang on, the Conquer's going here. This one makes more sense, but the church can be useful. I mean, he doesn't know he's going to be rushed, I guess, because this guy's probably not going to get there. CV going to Charlie, and 2 T-54s going, like, here. So I think the T-54s would be better in Charlie. Like, rather than the Conquerors, get the T-54, because it could survive a couple hits from AT-4s and stuff, right? I mean, lore 80s, it could at least survive 1 hit, and then it can just shoot back. So that can be more useful than the Conquerors in this situation. But yeah, putting it here, well, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I haven't seen this game. So we'll cast the game and we'll do it from this perspective. Right, so they're off, and I'd like to take the time to thank the generous channel joiners. They get their names on the screen. They get the videos up to a week early. They don't mind when I edit parts out. Where are those Strellas going, man? Just wacky pathing. I guess he had them on this road or something, so they went around. Just gotta be careful about that. I mean, there's not too much you can do about it. You just gotta try and stack them on the road and hope. But yeah, you see that Tschosch doesn't actually have that many units. Oh, I see. This is actually an FI tow. Okay, so the question you got to ask yourself is why. So FI tows are really good against heavy tanks. They 2-shot heavy tanks in uncontested skies, but you don't expect them to bring a heavy tank at the start. And this is 120 points, and the other one's, what, 60? Might be 65. So you could have got 2 regular ones instead of one of these, because it's only going to be wheeled transports. Yeah, and I'm noticing like a severe AA shortage. Like, there's only 2 Strellas against Link Spam Division. So yeah, this guy has clearly spotted that, and this guy spotted that, so that makes sense. Like, this one, there's nobody in Foxtrot, so as red, you get Foxtrot for free. You get preferential access for Foxtrot, whereas blue gets preferential access to Charlie. So rather than having that Conquerors go up there and not do anything, it's better to have the Conquerors go here and a recon, like an infantry recon, go here. But you see, blue won't attack this maybe because he expects yeah, because they don't have guns. You see, it's all down to the missiles, and then the missiles miss. Okay, so the car actually went this way and just died, but he had the recon heli. Like, he needs to react a bit faster here. He has the recon heli, so he knew this was here. Bailed out car there. Needs to unload this like a minute ago and not. Yeah, there we go. Maybe it'll get a shot off, but it's in the fire, so, and everybody's dead. It'll be interesting to see if Tschosch goes for Foxtrot, because he there's nobody there, but he doesn't know, and he probably just assumes there's somebody there because there always is. Like, this guy needs to go for Foxtrot. He's got the recon heli. He knows that there's nobody there. He should take Foxtrot. Somehow he's still +2. I guess because Tschosch didn't buy any CVs at the start. All these guys have been unloaded quite far back. I mean, this is like overwhelming advantage. You should have just unloaded them here. Although I can understand with the Lynx rocket being there why you wouldn't want to. So maybe that makes sense. Jaguar HE going for a T-54. If this was the cluster, that'd go much better. It would kill that. So yeah, the cluster is better, and the cluster also damages infantry, so you should prioritize bringing the cluster over the HE2. I bring both, and I don't bring the tornado. And yeah, the Strellas they only do 4 damage, right? And these have 6 HP, so you need at least 2, and you need preferably, I know, sir, or those ZU things, those ZSU toad things. And then yeah, Tschosch doing a good job of keeping his rocket helis, keeping one of his rocket helis supplied. Like, these should go back as well, really. That's, I guess, why you bought the fob. But yeah, the Conkers went down to that Lynx rocket. And I would love to see some reinforcements come here, but he's opted for planes instead. And the micro, these guys could be a little bit more spread out. They are reasonably spread out. But yeah, this is where those cheapo bombers come in, because then you can cheapo bomb this and kill it. And that was a really good bomb strike from those tornadoes. I mean, look, it killed 1, almost killed 2 more, and then this guy's got 2 HP, and he just shouldn't be doing that because he's a CV. He shouldn't be doing that. Foxtrot still not taken. This guy not doing anything. What are the purchases? A book. So the book's great for, you know, short range stuff, long range stuff. But how are you going to deal with the Lynx rockets? This is where the OSAs can be useful. All those ZU things that you brought, the car ones. Just taking a sip of my delicious decaf tea there. Yeah, the MiG-27 can be a good helo hunter because of this thing. As you can see, it's got 5 pen and a very high rate of fire. The only issue is it doesn't carry much ammo. So like 1 pass and it runs out of ammo. And then if it gets some misses, it doesn't actually kill it. Tschosch needs to reinforce this. I'm wondering, like, what is... Oh, his purchases have all been air, right? So he's got like a Fox. Fox isn't really what you want up here. I mean, to be honest, I can sort of understand it for shooting K.d.A. Schutzen. And the K.d.A, yeah, so this is where K.d.A should really be using its cheapo bombers to just clear these inf out straight away and run these guys in. Because they're not, you know, these guys have lots of machine guns and they're in the house. So they will eventually die just to the sheer weight of numbers. But it's going to take a very long time. Once you're on low cohesion, you should just run away. But I guess he's keeping them there to paint the target for the Jaguar. Which might get this CV because, you know, there's no supply either. Tschosch on a +1 now. Dive bomber is probably going to kill that CV. Yeah, so that's why you spread out. And, you know, Buck not really... I mean, it was on fast move anyway, so it wouldn't shoot. So this guy's finally gone in here, which will make it a +0. But that rover... like, so this rover should be in here, because Tschosch has this. And he should really be reinforcing this if he can. I mean, he's buying planes, and to be honest, it's working, so I can understand that. Cluster does damage infantry, but yeah, imagine if you had that 145, used to be 135, MiG-21 card, would have killed all this inf by now and taken that zone, basically. But yeah, instead, all the K.d.A Schutzen have died, and some helos coming in to try and reinforce as fast as possible, but it's not to be. Just not enough AA with that push, I guess. And I guess a better idea would be to have a jet circling around here, but then the Phantom comes, right? Buck, when you buy, should always have supply with it. And yeah, here we go. These air mobile taking this. You need a recon in that town, a javelin in that tower, a Milan either in that tower or up here somewhere. Could be useful. Yeah, Milan there. But yeah, Tschosch has managed to take that. I'm surprised he's not moving the CV in. Like, he knows it's clear up to here, so he could just move that round to there. This guy's just sort of been forgotten about. He should be in that church tower, given that juicy vision, that juicy religious vision. And then the Gov just immediately gets hit by an SAS and has to run away. Back to the fob. He's not sending it back to the fob. It's going to get a second shot off, and it's dead, because this guy is 3-vet. So he's got 71% accuracy. And it looks like he fired a lot of missiles anyway. Interesting, nothing's really happening here, but for Tschosch, what he needs to do right now is resupply, you know, shore up this and shore up this, and he can worry about this later. Needs to focus, because right now, these guys, because there's no AA, if Fire had those cheapo bombers, because he's got this, he sees this, surely, and so he could just bomb that, and they'd all be dead by now with those cheapo bombers. So instead he's forced to buy a not so cheapo bomber to do the same thing. And I'll show you, right? So 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi 5, Mississippi 6, Mississippi 7, Mississippi 8, Mississippi 9, Mississippi... It takes 9 seconds for all the bombs to hit. One of them always seems to go faster, I don't know why. And yeah, it didn't kill any of them. So, whereas the MiG-21s, they're dive bombers, so they do a lot of good stuff. And yeah, the Aufklärer are going to die to those air mobile gun groups. And this rover's going to go cap that zone and then cap mid. I don't really see how fire gets back into this game at all. Challengers coming out now. I wish they were at 1 vet. But yeah, Tschosch just needs to secure this, secure that. I mean, I'm surprised he's going for the slower things rather than just spamming out those Lynx rockets and just like... I mean, I guess this is pretty much secure, but you know, drop one there, drop one there. Or even the regular non-rocket ones. Because yeah, you see that it's not doing anything. I don't know if he can see it or if he's just... Yeah, but if it was the dive bombers, they would do a lot more damage simply because the spread's better. Okay, interesting air wave here, but there's actually nothing there. So what he should do right now is there we go, yeah, so he's retargeted that onto the book, which is very smart. And the book didn't even get a single hit, but with them being 3 there, even if it would have to get 2 hits in a row to kill one of them, and it didn't have a lot of time. But yeah, that was smart. As soon as you see the book fire, get the bomber on it, the dive bomber preferably, so it can't move. And now fire's back to having no anything, no air, no anti-air. So he's bought this. It's kind of too far away to do anything. But yeah, this is sort of a lost cause now. He's never getting back in there. So he needs to try and take this, because there's... I mean, it depends how much recon he has, right? But you can assume there's a lot of people in there, and he needs to sort this out. Something I'd love to see Tschosch do is get somebody with a Law 80, or even the arm rifles, and just press Q and press here. And you'll just move through the forest. It's very difficult to defend this because you don't know exactly where he's going to come from. The line of sight isn't great. Just get on that reinforcement road, shoot your missiles, go back. Even if you die, you've accomplished your goal simply by slowing down the enemy reinforcements loads for 45 points. Yes, a slow, steady tick for Tschosch. It'll be a +2 in a second because he's going to get that challenger to the to Alpha there. And he's doing a good job pushing this up. Stop your enemy from, you know, if you've got the units, you might as well just see how far up you can get. And yeah, just don't see how far he gets back into this. I mean, he's K.d.A, so what he wanted to do really is hold the middle of the map and then buy loads of rocket arty. You know, hold so you're not ticking, so you're not being ticked on. And then you buy your rocket arty and start hammering everything. But right now, if he buys rocket arty, you know, he's had it because he needs more infantry, basically. And he needs more AA. He needs, like, you know, if that cub hadn't died, he'd have 2 cubs. But, like, 1 cub isn't really enough to accomplish anything, particularly when there are 3 baddies. And, yeah, like, a ZU thingy here would be useful. Because, like, there, it's not really doing anything. The hill's going to block things anyway. Phantom F3 going for the Gov. We'll see if the book is... It's on attack move. And the MiG-23 just gets unlucky and gets hit by 2 missiles at once and dies. And they were the first 2 missiles. But then... Oh, there is a book. Okay, great. So there's lots of hits there. Lots of hits there. And the Gov survives, so that's good. And yeah, you know, sniping these things with Phantoms just doesn't really work. Because the Phantoms don't have guns and they've only got 1 set of missiles. Whereas the Harrier is slower, so even though it's only got 1 set of missiles, it'll get stuff. Where's he unloading this? So the houses might block it there. You want it here, really. You want it so that the houses don't block it. You see the... you are beginning to see the problem. So this one might go down, actually. Yeah, it did. Book hit it. Where's the supply? Get the supply up. But yeah, it's a very air-heavy game from both players. And yeah, that was a big chunky missile hitting that Gazelle, and the Lynx rockets all going back to the fob. They're being kept alive, which is smart. And yeah, I think Tschosch should continue to reinforce this, and then when he's ready, he should go for Foxtrot. He's on a +2. And Fire's just stalled out here. I mean, he's so far behind at this point. Although the purchases are interesting, like there should really be a Milan 2 team here to stop any fire support. But I've had to attack from Red's position many times into this town, and basically you just can't see anything until you're right on top of it, and then it kills you, and then, you know, you lose your recon, you're back to the start. So it's very difficult. But yeah, if you buy one of these, you should buy supply with it as well. And yeah, he's continuing to reinforce that. I guess most of his points have gone into planes, right? I'm not sure where Red's points have gone. I guess into... Well, he's gone into, like, K.d.A. Yeah, there you go. He wasn't spending for a while. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, so he can't see, right? So he's, like, blind bombing. I mean, yeah, that's probably going to die. But yeah, I mean, can't really accomplish anything. He gets 1 unit. The rocket artillery would probably be better. Probably be a better idea here. I don't think this is gonna work because he'll clump them all up again. They'll all die to the same things again. Like there's not enough short range AA here. He needs a bunch of ZU-23s here and like Strellas all down here. You know, you try and attack like so you get recon here, get some fire support here, and then the enemy should have Milans here really to shoot that fire support. But then you try and get in this side as well. You don't just keep coming down this open field. If you've got time, you buy some rocket artillery. Or you could just buy, how many is that? 3, 6, 9, 18 K.d.A. Schutzen. And send 4 of them this way. I guess they're going to come up here. But there's no CV with them, so I don't know what that will accomplish. They're just going to get bombed again. And yeah, it's I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing this. But yeah, I think if you leave them in the trees, they don't shoot as good as if you leave them like in like these 2 trees here, for example. I think the trees block the LOS. I'm not 100% sure on that. But all this time, Tschosch is on a +2. 15 minutes left. I am looking forward to this push, but I think it is doomed to failure because it's just K.d.A. Schutzen. Like, there should be a bunch of T-54s mixed in there. You should definitely have rocket artillery by now hitting these 4 positions. You know, hitting over here. Tschosch has made the right call bringing in... To be honest, yeah, he should have bought all the SAS before he started bringing in javelins. But I do agree with putting it in the church. I think he should have more than 1 in the church. I guess he doesn't want him to get bombed. This isn't very smart because he saw what he lost his bomber to, and now he's... I mean, he got quite lucky there. He got really quite lucky there. Because he saw how much stuff shot at him when he used his bomber, so he should expect that there's going to be a lot there. From what I've been told about these, if you just click them and right-click on the fob, and then right-click back on the front line, they'll automatically resupply, then go back to the front line. That's what I've been told. And these Terriers were purchased quite a long time ago. It's just because it's Black Forest, it takes so long. See if the Pro Tank can get a kill. It cannot. Cannot even aim. Another book purchased, a mortar purchased. But yeah, we'll see about this. I think it's going to be a lot of people dying for nothing. Because yeah, look at that. He's not even... Like, you want to send some up here, you want to send some round here, and then by all means have some in the open so that your fire support, which should be in a position to shoot, can shoot whatever targets these reveal. But instead he's just gone for... I mean, he needs to stop doing this. There's a lot of AA there. He should know by now. He should definitely know by now how much AA there is there. And then, yeah, these K.d.A. Schutzen might attempt something, but there's no AA with them, so they'll just get Lynx rocketed to death. But yeah, they're too clumped up. They're all going to die to you know, A bomber's going to get quite a lot of kills here. That's I think that's a screenshot moment. Send in the horde. Deploy the horde moment. Like, what the hell is that? You don't see that very often. That's some World War I strats right there. But where's the rocket RT? You know, imagine if you could rocket RT all this. Imagine nothing. You can. That's your whole, you know, you've got all those cards. I'm surprised Tschosch hasn't bought a single artillery piece either. I guess there's one mortar on the field between them. Because they brought all this arty, and then they never bought any of it. Yeah, you don't want too much arty, but like even one piece just does so much. He's done it again, he's flying. Yeah. Here come the lynxes. Here come the lynxes. Although these are AH1 scouts. And this... Right, so this guy never got resupplied, but... Okay, I mean, most of them have supply. Right, this is... Yeah, it's good. He's getting kills. I mean, he's getting... The problem is the auto-targeting. He needs to right-click this, because you'll see that it just switches to the next unit, and it just switches to the next unit. It's not actually confirming the kills. Right, here we go. The massively clumped up K.d.A. Schutzen. I wonder what's going to happen. Yeah, you hate to see it, honestly. You hate to see it. Don't blob all your guys up. I mean, and this should also be over here. If you're going to attack over here, you should know bombers will come in, get those 3 cubs, and maybe even intercept some of that, but... Yeah, just don't blob your guys up like that. Like, why not spread them out a bit more? Then he only gets 3 kills instead of however many he got there. It was quite a lot of kills. And yeah, these guys didn't even... It's so sad, man. And then the mortar's gonna go pew, pew. Yeah, I think fire's just too far behind at this point. I am interested to see what's gonna happen over here. This guy's having some problems because it can't land here because the ground's so steep. It just keeps messing up. Yeah. That was just so sad. So now, oh no, hang on a minute. That time was counting up, not down. So there's no time limit on the game. Which means that he should have bought that rocket arty because he had time. Especially considering how slow this is ticking. Would love to see Tschosch try and attack Foxtrot next. I mean, there's... After a while, like, all these air mobile scouts don't really need to be here. After a while, it becomes diminishing returns, and you can just send all those over here and see what's going on over here. First arty piece out from Tschosch, and the second arty piece... And I don't actually think any of these Lynx rockets are dying. Oh, I think maybe one died, because I saw the books open up on it. And then there you go. Not going well for fire. But so he's going to... When he gets to here and tries to attack here, it's not going to work because of the minimum range. So that's going to be quite embarrassing. We'll see it happen. We'll see him, like, pull them back again. Yeah. I wonder what happens next. Gotta wait for them to get some more points so we can spam some more K.d.A. Schutzen. But imagine a world, right, where instead of firing HE, instead of blobbing the guys up, he had them spread out. Instead of having all these guys up here, they were here in the open, you know, where they could shoot. He spread them out. He sent like one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. And with the mortar, he smoked off this. So none of these guys could do anything. He just smoked off this. And then he'd get in the town, no problem, especially with that many units. But yeah, no, instead he's buying these smirches and they won't be able to shoot. He should have actually called them in here. I think they've got quite a substantial minimum range. Over here, the K.d.A. Schutzen got there, but without AA, what's going to happen? MLRS purchased. It's the cluster one. We'll see what happens if it hits that book. I mean, it looks like it's not really going to hit anything. But when you're this far ahead, you might as well shoot. And there you go, it damages infantry. Makes a really nice sound. It's also against the Geneva Convention. Good counter battery on that 120. Down it goes. Are these guys going to shoot, or has he forgotten about... Are these guys going to try and shoot, then realise they can't? Or has he just forgotten about them in their entirety? CV brought up now, but everybody's dead. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame there's no mode where you can just open the replay and from that point you can just press I play from this point. It's something I've seen a lot of game devs talk about for their various Kickstarter projects, and then none of them have ever done it. So I remember Planetary Annihilation said they were going to do that. They didn't bother. And I've seen Sanctuary Shattered Sun saying they were going to do that, and they haven't bothered. I saw a guy for Age of Empires Online saying he was going to do it, and he didn't bother. Yeah. What happens next? There you go, see. He's realised. He's going to send them back to there. Maybe they'll be able to shoot. I don't think so. This fob hasn't had a single supply point taken from it. This one has, from those Lynx rockets. But I guess the supply cost of these isn't as hilariously... Because it used to be like 500 supply for a batch of rockets. Then they just made rockets useless. But let's see Tschosch get a unit to here. Blow stuff up. And like, where's the ZU? Like this one? Yeah, sure. But you should have some here. Infantry recon here. And you see that when they get in a position to shoot, they do a lot of damage. But yeah, the Smirches, and then he needs some more infantry. Marker's not really shooting. I mean, it's looking like Tschosch is just going to tick up +2 until he wins. If I was in Fire's position at this point, I'd say, okay, do you want a rematch? Because so many mistakes have been made at this point. Oh, I see. He knows where the books are because of that Lynx. But this one's moving. And he's... Wait, this one he hasn't gone for. He's gone for this one, and that one's moving. It's a good idea, though. And he got one. Oh, and he got the CV because it was behind it. And he got the ZU. So yeah, that was a good bombing run, actually. And all it cost him was a single Lynx and some repair time. But that's free. Strels needs to be pulled back. The air mobile scouts will kill him. If you're the air mobile scouts in this situation, you want to run into these guys so they can't run away. And run the SAS behind as well, because the enemy should send a vehicle. Counter battery on the Malka. Are these moving? You see that counter battery doesn't really do anything. That one almost hit. It landed right next to it, didn't do any damage, did a little bit of cohesion damage. K.d.A Schutzen coming in here without AA. Where are all those Lynx rockets? Presumably they will just be sent over here and all these guys will die. Not looking great for Fire, and Tschosch unwilling to attack Foxtrot. I mean, he's got so much spare capacity here. He's gone for artillery, but yeah, I would buy one piece at least. But then, yeah, you get some guys here, and then you just charge this one. I mean, you don't really have to if you're on a +2, but that's what I do. Right, K.d.A Schutzen engaged. Would love to see this Warrior Milan come... That's difficult. Yeah, come to here. Because then it can shoot, and it won't be in AT range. Barely, like that Saxon is doing. And these guys, once again, have just been... Like, he's not moving them, he's attack moving them, so they've just stopped there in the open, dying. So this should immediately go for that SAS, because that's the thing that can kill this, so he should immediately rocket that house. Just press T, click on it if you don't see the house. But no, he saw it, and then... Oh, no, what? He just wasn't fast enough, I guess. Like, he could have got that, and then these guys are just stood in the open. Lynx rockets coming in here. Like I said, guys not spending their points. Fire, forgotten about his Smirches, probably still can't shoot. I know he sent them over here, and then now they're here. You need to send it, like, here. Well, the fob's there, so you need to send it, like, here, I guess. With some munitions that can go to and from the fob. Look at all that. Why doesn't he go for Foxtrot and Echo? He's got the points, clearly. And he could just send these ones instead of sending the fresh ones. Yeah, this was... Yeah, you don't want to just leave them in the open shooting at the guys in the buildings. You want to use your massive arty to kill that, at least. I mean, you've got that Malka, right? But that's just on counter battery. You got the Smirches, but they're on nothing. You don't want everybody in one building, because this happens. I mean, this was going to happen anyway, but yeah, it's not fantastic. It's not fantastic. That was a not fantastic moment. Great. Bombers out. Sort of a bit late in the day. What? Oh, he tried to just send this down here, but he forgot that there was guys here, because he went around, right? So he was like, oh, I'll just reinforce that now, and Didn't really work out. This guy's out a bit late to stop those bombers, save those bombers, etc. Would have loved to have seen the cluster go for this. And is he just going to land them here? Why not go for Foxtrot? Look at all that infantry. Why not go for Foxtrot? Just going to land, and then will he put them back in? All you have to do is drag box them all and right-click one of the transports. They'll all get back in themselves. And then you can go for Foxtrot. Or Echo. With your massive advantage in numbers. Oh, Smirch is opening up. Where are they going? They're going for the guys who've just come out the helicopters. So I don't know about that, because presumably they're going to move. Or are they just going to stay there? I think they're just going to stay there. I guess at this point it doesn't matter. So that's the range on the Smirches. What is that? It's hard to tell. 5,000. 10,500. 10,000. 15,000. And yeah, he's just moving them. So, and Smirch's cluster, so it doesn't even... Oh, here we go. Next wave. Next wave. I mean, surely you'd want this for the town, or is he... You'd want these for that wave, because now they've got to reload for 3 minutes, and in 5 minutes your enemy's going to win. They are moving, ostensibly to go back to the fob, yeah. Because, yeah, here comes the counter battery. Oh, wow! That was pretty unlucky there. Landed right on the edge of the circle. Unlucky for fire, lucky for Tschosch. Nailed that guy. I didn't one hit as well, because, yeah, the HP of these all used to be 10, but they've been coming down, which makes sense. People say, oh, it's armored. I'm pretty sure if I hit the top of one of these things, it's not going to work properly anymore. Same with your AA pieces. You've got a very fragile tube on the top there. I think artillery is going to make that very difficult to operate correctly if it gets hit. So I agree with it having low HP. And the Malka's not doing anything because it's bad. And he's... I'm not sure what he's going for there. Mortars for smoke? Or for something. And he's just gonna... Is he now just gonna run 20 infantry up this and lose them to the bombers again? You hate to see it. So what is this time? 4 Mott Schutzen. And 9 K.d.A. Schutzen. It's a shame this isn't going for that, but obviously he's got no way of knowing about it. I guess he thinks the fob is there. I'm not sure why he thinks that. Or maybe he thought the RT was going in this direction, who knows. I mean, that's probably a good place for the fob, behind those trees. Because here it can be spotted more easily from the front. So this is probably, and it's on the supply road, so it's probably a good place for the fob, which is why he's shooting there. This is on counter battery, but Tschosch is doing a good job of just shooting and moving. He's not using these, but I guess he doesn't have targets for them. If you're not using your RT, just put it on fire at will, or counter battery. Don't just leave it there. Right, 3 minutes to go. The last attack, surely. But they've been forgotten about. They're not being pathed. Tschosch quite content to just walk down the open field. So it's going to be like, what, an honourable int versus int fight. Oh, that's a lore 80, okay. I was like, what is that? They speak in English? Where have they gone? They're holding their L85s a bit strangely. You don't really want to be covering the end of the barrel like that. Might get you killed. Or it might get your hand a bit hurty. There you go. I think it... Oh, he's found the fob. I mean, it looks like he's just hitting random play. No, he knew it was there. Maybe he listened in. Maybe he listened in. Hang on, I think he sent me a message about this. Let's have a look. I seem to remember him telling me about this. Check the direction of the dead vehicles, and then you know where the fob is. So if you kill a vehicle, you can, even if you don't have vision, you can see it, And so he knows that the vehicle died here, and he's assuming that the vehicle is going to the fob. And indeed it was, because if we go in a straight line from the vehicle, you see the exploded fob. So that's how he knew where the fob was. I mean, it took him a couple tries, but he got it. And now he will know the fob is dead, because that's a dead vehicle. So that's interesting. Because, yeah, even if you don't have vision, you can see the vehicles when they die. That's another problem with the game. So you know you've killed something, even if you can't see it. First of all, because your guy goes, bingo, even if he can't see the thing that he killed. And the other one is you just stick your face in the ground and you can see the exploded wreck. Or you can see the guy die, like the death animation. I mean, he's got to do something here. He's running out of time. He's only got 57 seconds. I don't think it's happening. Does he know? I mean, I guess he knew about that because of these. I mean, they've moved. But yeah, he should have done that thing with the Jaguar. He's like, buck spotted. So these two go out first and then the Jaguar behind and you hit the buck with the Jaguar. Yeah, 30 seconds. Smirch has rounds. There's no fob. Zikrug's coming in. I mean, there's not really sufficient time. This game was basically ended at the 5th minute. I think for obviously, if you're just playing with your friends, you can do whatever the hell you want. It's your copy of the game. But if you want to learn as fast as possible, when the game is lost, just quit. You know, so say GG if you want. Yeah, because he just Q moved, the BTR-60s went first, and so the SAS will kill all those. Victory! So, Tschosch just comes up with my profile. He's rank 18 apparently, and Fire is not played many games. So that explains a lot. Just Tschosch beating up his friend there. What a nice person. But yeah, lots of learnings in that game. Lots of learnings. Don't blob up all your guys. Don't just buy 14 K.d.A shots and know the maps. I mean, look, that was all within 1 second. Within 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 in 1 second. So yeah, don't blob your guys up. Yeah, GG. Let me know what you think.